Hello my skeleton friends, welcome back to my channel Skeletal Academia. If you are new to me and my art, my name is Kasper. I'm a freelance artist and a small art business owner based in Los Angeles. I create art and stories and produce products with the art of my skeleton magical world. If you're interested in seeing my art process and hearing the story that inspired my art and my creative journey, I suggest you subscribe to my channel and my social media. In this video, I will show you some behind the scenes footage of me preparing products for my upcoming art vendor. All products featured in this video are available on my online shop. While this video runs, I will share some of my experience with vending art at convention for over a year. From my first artist alley in college to having my own vendor booth at conventions and markets. Disclaimer, this is not a how-to video, it's more like a voice journal. If you want to watch this video without voiceover, I have it linked below. Now, let's begin. My first time selling my art in public was in 2019 at my art school as an artist alley attendee. I took it very seriously and planned the setup in advance. At that time, there wasn't a lot of resources or how to set up a more aesthetic and conceptual booth. I came up with many ideas to make my booth functional and aesthetically pleasing. I think my favorite part was designing my table setup. During that time in my career, I was promoting my old brand, which featured more colorful palettes with Japanese concept. From the tablecloth to the decorative items to my outfits, I had to make sure everything featured the Japanese elements. Even though I didn't want to spend too much on my setup, I want to have a professional looking display. A note to take into consideration is that at that time I had a very limited type of products to show. I had large and small art prints, needle, buttons, and stickers. That's it. So by putting more effort into decorating the booth, it helps catch people's attention and keep them around longer. Seeing people able to sense the vibe of my art is really important. I got a lot of positive feedback from my artist table at that time. I was so excited to step up my game and do more artist alley events, but then the pandemic happens, all public activity were cancelled for years after. I was really frustrated at the time. However, something happened in my life during the lockdown and I recreated my brand from scratches. And during the rebranding process, I expand my product lines. So I also had to think about expanding my booth size and setup once I get to do it again. I came back to sell my art in public in fall 2022 at Sugoi Saturday. This time at a real convention and with my own 10 feet by 10 feet booth. At the time, I only had a few experience with the previous artist alley setup, so I still tried to fit everything on one table despite having way more products to show. I thought that would help me get to my customers faster. Although the first vending with my own 10 feet by 10 feet space was successful, I realized that with the amount of products I have, I can't keep the artist alley setup. Although the booth looked good, it was not functional for me and sometimes not for the customer either. When I attend the second convention with an 8-foot artist alley table booth, the table setup was so crowded, I could only focus on one task. And only 2 customers fit in the space at a time to browse through all of the products I had. But of course, I can only decide if I need to set up as a vendor or as an artist at an artist alley only after I saw the potential in my products and also depending on the cost. If the events ask vendors to pay so much compared to the ratio of how popular the convention is, then I would consider an artist alley table. About the setup design itself, it took about 10 more vending events for me to finally find out what really works. Sometimes I came with more products even though I had attended the same events before. Sometimes different type of products required a completely different display and space, so the overall setup experience keep changing. After months and months looking at all the setup I had tried and all the interactions I had with my customers, I realized that since my artwork is already very detailed, has complex composition and a lot of elements within the art, it's better to have more simple looking setup. I started putting more effort into showing my art and also making the booth more functional than focusing on decoration. Because I also have various type of products from big to small, I focus more on how easy it is for customers to access the products. My current favorite setup is having two display tables in L shape. On the other side of the booth is the backdrop with large art prints and apparel. As for the small merchandise and accessories, most of the products are grabbable instead of just photos. I realize that there is more chance someone will purchase something if they can pick and choose themselves. They can feel the products that they are going to buy, and since they already picked the products up, they would feel more obligated and secure to have it. And what I like most is when they touch my products, there is a better connection between me and my customers. It's not just the setup that I have to worry about, but it is also the setup time, duration, and transportation that I had to keep in mind. Some shows have parking that is far away, drop-off space was crowded, and also the setup time was limited. I want to make it less time-consuming and easy to save my energy, so I can focus on providing my customer with the best service. I recently invested in these suitcases. They fit all of my products so nicely and are much easier to transport. I used to put all of my products in my foldable crates and stack them on my trolley and dollies. That method was great. I was able to bring more products, but I wanted to try something new this time. It's also because the crates are not durable and protective enough for the constant moving, so I hope the suitcase work better. About what not to sell, I have talked to so many vendors and artists at the event. They let me know that there are many types of products that are too expensive to produce, hard to transport, take up a lot of space, yet are hard to sell at conventions, even though they look attractive on display. Sometimes there are products like desktop mats, apparels, purses, shoes, so I need to always be cautious about what products I want to produce and bring to this convention. Collectibles, accessories like charms and keychains or stationery, stickers, and art prints work best for my art. These items showcase the details work behind my art while being affordable for anyone to collect. I also have to pay attention to the inventory of each product to make sure that I don't bring too many of those that don't sell as well as those that only sell out. However, sometimes the things that I don't sell well at the last event sell better at the next event. Therefore, just bring a few extra, but not too many. About how to find events, I usually just search for key terms like vendor application, artist alley application, the type of event I want to do, for example, anime or handmade or a specific holiday. I also need to make sure the location and dates. Once I found the event, I check out their website, their past events, I start follow their social media, contact them there, or their emails. I realized that as long as you are a decent, nice, and professional person, have a solid brand, art portfolio, and a good quality products present, then you have a good chance of getting into any shows. Unless you sign up really late or those shows have high submission of vendors and artists alley. The last thing I want to talk about is the connection with the events and its host and staff. After a year of attending conventions and markets, I realized that keeping a good connection with any staff and host is very helpful for both parties. There were a lot of dramas happen at these shows. I tried not to involve myself in if it didn't directly affect me badly. Some shows were successful, some wasn't, and I just need to take notes and be careful. Some of the staff at these events are just doing their jobs and fulfill the tasks that they were told, so there's no point of being rude and mean to any of them. If you keep your image, being professional and nice to everyone, they will look out for you while you don't bring trouble to them. Everybody happy. I got invited back to these events most of the times, and I have not had any bad experience with any of them, even when I didn't get accepted or the event was just a fail. We are reaching the end of this video. I hope this video will give you some ideas of what my experience was like after 1 year of attending events as Artist Alley and art vendor. I'll be attending Anifes in Torrance Cultural Arts Center on March 30th. I will have the info of the event in the description. If you're in the area on that day, you might want to check it out. The staff were super nice and understanding, so I know I would enjoy it regardless. Thank you for spending your time here with me. As of now, please take care and I'll see you soon. Bye!